A very good evening to one and all. Welcome to day 5 of our 7-day professional development program on harnessing AI and SPSS integration for advanced research writing. We are excited to continue our journey as we explore the synergies between AI technologies and SPSS. In today's fast paced research environment, artificial intelligence has emerged as a powerful tool not just in data analysis but also in the writing and editing process, for grammar and style improvements to suggesting references and improving the clarity of complex ideas. AI tools are revolutionizing the way we approach academic writing. To kick off today's session, I now invite Mrs. Gayatri, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Accounting and Finance, to introduce our esteemed chief guest.
Gayatri ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Good evening to all. Sarvam Karanodbhavam Asti. Jnanam Pavitram Asti. Everything has a reason and knowledge is pious. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Sanj Namaskar, Shubha Sandhyakar. I request all of you to watch both the hands of your ring finger. Do you have a ring with a diamond stone? If yes, proceed with this session. If no, definitely proceed with this session. I am venerated to introduce a strong, malleable, ductile, lustrous silver grey researcher hailing from the Vidyanagar. Atomic number 40 and atomic mass is 91.224. Highly resistant with weathering, high refractive index, which gives intense brilliance. We are not talking about zircon, but about the GOAT of research in physics, especially with the crystallization of metallic glasses. I put Dr. Kirith N. Ladd on a pedestal to introduce him to this wonderful learned audience. Dr. Kirith N. Ladd, Professor, Department of Physics, is a distinguished professor in the Department of Physics at SP University Vallabh Vidyanagar, where he has been a pivotal figure in advancing the field of applied physics. With a PhD in applied physics from the MS University of Baroda, Dr. Ladd has built an impressive career dedicated to theoretical modeling and computer simulation studies of metallic glass forming liquids. His research focuses on structure, dynamics, and thermodynamics of these materials with a keen interest in phase transformations, including glass transition and crystallization in metallic glasses. Dr. Ladd's academic journey spans various roles from lecturer to professor, with significant contributions as a Boycast Fellow at CNRS INP, Grenoble, France. His expertise has been showcased through numerous research projects, including studies on microalloying effects in zircon-based bulk metallic glasses and molecular dynamics, simulations of glass formation and crystallization process. A prolific researcher, Dr. Ladd has authored over 30 publications in reputed journals, covering topics such as kinetics of crystallization in metallic glasses and thermodynamic properties of magnetic liquid metals. His work has greatly contributed to the understanding of glass forming alloys and their applications. In addition to his research, Dr. Ladd actively engages in academic discourse through invited talks and presentations at national and international conferences. He is also committed to mentoring the next generation of scientists, currently supervising PhD students working on cutting-edge research projects. Respected sir, I am bestowed to invite you to enlighten the researchers and fellow scholars of this session, AI Enhancement in Research, Writing and Editing. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So thank you for this elaborate introduction. Uh, so I'll be taking over from here on for this session. So first of all, I would like to thank the organizer to deliver this talk on AI related aspects of research and writing. So I hope since it is an online presentation, I'll have to in between swap through various screens. So first of all, I would like to share my screen with all of you, and just please let me know if you are able to see that screen so that I can confirm and then move ahead. So let me just first share my screen with all of you. Yeah, so can you see the screen? Could anybody please let
Yes,
me
sir.
know?
We are
Yeah,
able to see your screen.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. Okay. So now I shall start the presentation. So Madam has already given me the background to all of you about my academic journey. Uh, as far as the audience is concerned, I assume that it's a mixture of many disciplines and preferably more from commerce and management. Am I right? I mean, if let me know just so that I can accordingly engage with them. So I assume that majority of the faculties will be from commerce and management disciplines. Uh, uh, but the topic is quite general. So while preparing for this presentation, I had many things in my mind. What should I cover and what should I not? So I have tried to make it as general as possible so that it is applicable to all. Uh, now, uh, I would just in next couple of minutes cover what I will be covering during next 1.5 hour maybe or less than that in fact. So what is that outline and scope of the talk? Uh, that is an overview of AI and its uses. I know what is the topic. It is about writing and editing, but the kind of topic is, the topic of this FDP is such that significant overlap with previous speakers as well as the coming speakers might be unavoidable. So here I'll also be having a very quick overview of AI and its usage, especially from the point of view of research. So we will be talking in very brief about AI in academics and research. Then, of, though we will be talking about AI, we also should know what should be looked for in contribution from AI. So we will also be covering some academic aspects of academic in research writing. So we'll be covering up some notions of academic and research writing. Then we'll come to the point of why do we need AI in academic and research writing, just to elaborate its importance. We'll be looking to the stages of writing a research article, various stages. Then in that various stages, we'll be looking at some particular aspects of use of AI in different stages. So starting from the early stages, I'll also be having some demonstrations of AI tools. And I'll also be discussing importance of AI tools for literature review. I know that on the second day it has been covered in detail, but I'll be just covering some significant aspect related to research writing. So that is what is that this point tells me. Then coming to the detailed structure of the research article, what are the important aspects that should be considered first before embarking on use of the AI tools. Then we'll be covering some of the aspects of AI in writing and editing, and then citation and reference management, and finally we will be looking at ethical consideration and limitations of use of AI in research writing. This part also is going to be covered in detail in the future sessions. So I know that this is a faculty development program, so many of you might be well aware of different things, but I have prepared this presentation from the point of view of a common use. So in any case, if you have anything to share, please feel free to share on this platform. So before I start presenting the slides, I have a couple of disclaimers to be made here that in this presentation, I have made attempts to cite and acknowledge all the sources which I have used. Most of them are, almost all of them are in public domain, and I have provided the links wherever it is used. Also, in the preparing this presentation, I have also made use of certain AI tools. So these are disclaimers that I had to make. So now coming to the overview of AI and its usage, we all know that it all started with the introduction of ChatGPT. In fact, we have been using AI in many aspects of our life since long before ChatGPT, but we have not been aware of the use of AI for the generating. To communicate with the AI like a human being. Otherwise, we have been using in our mobiles and very significantly, like all the assistants like Siri, then Cortana, all these are AI assistant. AI chatbots have been in operation from very long time, but that has not gained any significant attention because of their limited use. But ChatGPT has changed the entire picture now, and just to gauge what actually is that we'll be talking about. But now what basically AI is, just to have a pedagogical or academic definition, it is basically simulating the human intelligence in machines. So we try to we make an attempt. We try to train the machines in such a way that it thinks like humans and try to do our work. That is what we mean by artificial intelligence. And for that purpose, generative models are used based on several algorithms. The models basically use a large data set and use that data set to generate the new content. Then since that content, it is using that content, the output will also be having several similarities because it is basically coming from that data set. So now this has changed the landscape in several fields that includes research writing and editing, where that repetitive tasks are automated. and even advanced analyticals are provided by the AI tools. So just to have a glance at the areas where this AI has made a significant contribution, you can see that in all the aspects that touches our life, it is there. So we could say in one line that now AI is omnipresent. Uh, and this research is one of the aspect as far as the researchers are concerned. That is where AI contributes significantly. So we will be talking on that. But now let's see just the use of AI tools, and that is in millions. You can see the growth of AI from the year 2020, from 115, or maybe I should say 116 million across the world. It has gone up to 314 million in just 4 years. So it is rising very rapidly, and that shows the importance of AI and its uses, in its utilities. Uh, the popularity of that AI has been due to the chat GPT, and just for the popularity, to gauge the popularity, a graph is shown on this graph where you can see the several online platforms and the registration on those platforms. So on the x-axis you see the number of days. So ChatGPT, it just took 5 days to reach the target of 1 million users. So within 5 days, it reached 1 million users. That was its popularity. While you can compare with other most popular social media platforms or other commercial platforms. So this shows once again world over the usage of AI, and where do India stands in this? So that this pie chart basically show that out of the ChatGPT user, now this figure just gives you the statistics of ChatGPT users only, and that you can see the topmost users are in US, that is 12%, and India is just 1% behind that with 11%. So India is at the second place in that, and then there are other 3 countries: Indonesia, Brazil, and UK, and the rest of the country, the world, contribute the remaining 56%. So in short, India is forefront of adopting this AI technology in all aspects. Otherwise, also India is very keen in adopting the new technology. That also we have seen in the use of UPI. So this is about the AI, and now just giving that statistics furthermore. This is basically gives a landscape of AI tools, right? And you can see that the 50 most visited. There are a n number of AI tools that exist now. Out of that, the 50 most visited AI tools that turned out to be 24 billion visits by the users within just 1 year's period of September 2022 to August 2023, and that covers different kind of applications of AI, and that also there also India stands second with 2.1 billion visits, and you can see different kind of AI tools which are being used: AI chatbots, AI in writing, image generator, video generator. So different AI tools being used. So this make it more very clear that now AI is going to be there in one way or other in our use. So including that writing and academic and research. So AI in academics and research, how does it contribute? So the six main domain that we are concerned as academicians who are engaged in teaching as well as research, there are main six domains where AI can contribute. That is idea development and research design. And then that is especially for research. Then content development structuring, which can be for academics as well as for research, literature review and synthesis. Now, all these domains have different subtasks like writing assistant, text structuring. We are not going to talk about this. We will be talking about that in detail later on. So, literature review and synthesis, then data management analysis, editing, review and publishing support, communication outreach, and ethical compliance. Here also we have some statistics that which particular domain of academics and research is making use of AI the most. So this pie chart basically will give an idea where these six domains employ the AI. So you can see here out of this, I have just segregated the three main areas or domains which are relevant to today's presentation about writing and editing. So you can see that a significant chunk of the use in AI in academics and research is related to your writing and editing and content development. So that you can see 26% for editing, review and publishing support, 23% for content development and structuring, and literature review and synthesis 9%. So this is the statistics. This is taken from a recent paper in a journal published in elsewhere. The link is given here, and this reference is given here. So now just after looking at this, we will just have a glimpse of the AI tools that which used in academics and research. These are just some of the leading AI tools, starting with ChatGPT, that are being used in academics and research. So you might be aware of maybe many of them. But you can classify this AI tools in broadly three categories mainly. Like for example, the AI tools which are general use AI tools where you can make general queries like your ChatGPT, Perplexity. There are others like Cloud and others, but those I have not mentioned here. There is other category of AI tool which is mainly focusing on the literature review part. There is a third category of AI tools which basically deals with more important task of summarizing, paraphrasing, writing. So more focused on the writing part. Fourth category is exclusively focusing on checking the grammar, style, plagiarism. For example, Grammarly, it is mainly focused on the language part, grammar, and the text structuring. Trinka is that. So, and the final category basically is the reference management tools, reference and citation management tools. So these are the four broad categories in which we can put as far as academics and research writing is concerned. Now, as we move towards understanding how these tools help us in enhancing the writing, research or academic writing, we should first have a clarity about how they will be useful. So first of all, we should know what are the key notions of academic and research writing. As I said in the beginning, most of you, I mean almost all of you, are faculties and maybe quite experienced with several years of teaching, and you might also have a significant experience of academic and research writing. So you might be having all these ideas. I'm just sharing it and presenting again to make the relevance of the AI tools clear. So this quote by Nathaniel Hawthorne, who is a famous novel writer, American novel writer, very short and short sentence or quote is: "The easy reading is damned hard writing." That means something that is very easy for a reader. It seems that a lot of work has been done in writing it. Then only it can be read very easily. So when we say reading, it doesn't mean literal reading. It is understanding also. So any good academic writing is clear, precise, formal, evidence-based, structured, and objective. So these are the characteristics of a good academic writing. So at many places now, I'll be using academic writing that includes research, just to avoid repetitiveness in my speech. So this writing also cites sources rigorously and conveys the complex idea in very accessible and credible ways. So let's see what are the key notions. So that basically there are that key notions are related to 7 C's, which can be, this part I have taken from one open access book available on the internet, which nicely narrates all these points. 7 C's of academic writing style. So what are the 7 C's? One is clarity. So any writing should be very clear, so that a reader can understand it. Otherwise, the exercise that author makes is futile. So writing with clarity means, the author's words should look like a spotless mirror. That is what it is written here. So when we say spotless mirror, it should be very clear. The meaning should be very clear, and the ideas conveyed through those words should be easily understandable. So that is what clarity means, and that clarity requires simplicity of the language. So to do that, one should avoid the jargons and very overblown language. Otherwise, it is not going to convey the message that an author wants to convey. So these are the things that should be avoided if one wants to make the clarity. So why this is being discussed here? Because when we generate the text using the AI tools, it is going to basically use the literature available in the public domain, and it is going to present it in a very structured way, where language is the most priority, so that AI will not know the significance of the word, because context will be important. So jargon should be avoided. And why it is so? Because if jargons are used, the meaning will not be known to many of the readers, and that would make the readers to make incorrect assumptions, and that would lead to misunderstanding about the ideas being conveyed through that write-up. Second C is about the conciseness. Apart from clear, it should also be as concise as possible. when we say concise, it doesn't mean short. Concise means the length should be appropriate enough. No more words should be spent in writing. If you can convey the idea in 10 words, we should not use 20 words, because that may create confusion. So it is said that concise writing means using the fewest words possible to convey an idea clearly. And by writing concisely, one can make even complex ideas sound simple. So once again, let me just put it here once again. Let me remind you why I'm covering this, because when we will be using the AI, one has to keep in mind that what kind of text or write-up I want to generate using the AI, because AI tools are basically machines, and they have to be instructed. They are not kind of the shapes we will prepare this to you and they will share it on the table. You will have to give clear and precise instruction to the AI tools. Then only we'll get what you want. So these concepts has to be very clear before we make use of the AI tools itself. I mean, when you have the writing is, what kind of writing makes worse writing? That means for explaining the simple things, you use many unnecessary words. That is considered to be a worse kind of writing, because reader is also not interested in reading a lot of text, right? Because in today's world, the attention span has been decreased significantly. You know that the attention span so we should be as concise as possible. The third one is coherence. Whatever we write, it should also be it should be coherent enough. From one paragraph to another paragraph, everything should follow logically. It should be it should look like a very nice story where the reader remains connected while the reader goes through the text and understand the concepts and the other things explained in the article. So that's what is here explained. Then comes so this off the tangent means it should not all of a sudden the writing should not go out of the context. So here also writing style will be different. I mean, what we are talking about here is the academic and research writing. So it has a structured way. We are not talking about the novels or the artistic, writing where anything is possible, because there the author has a liberty to manage everything. Now, the other fourth, that is the correctness. So whatever is being presented, it should be correct, not into essence, but the spellings, grammar, etc. should also be correct. The important part of academic and research writing is courtesy, because we are writing something which is having a lot of base in the previous writing. So it is possible that whatever we are finding or whatever trying to report is contradictory to the claims made by the researchers earlier, but we have to maintain the positive tone as far as possible. It can be written critically. So when writing, care should be taken to use the word that highlight the positive aspects, then emphasize the improvement and suggest constructive action that can be taken on some aspect which has been studied previously. So it is best to avoid negative or critical words, and we should avoid to become pushy, and rather we should focus on the solution, and we should suggest what can be done to overcome the lacuna. So and whenever we criticize, then also we have to maintain a courteous and full tone, as I said just a moment before, because we have to maintain a healthy academic discourse through our writing. So another is the confidence. Once again, when we write our ideas in the academic or research paper, then the confidence is important because it communicates the authority and the clarity with which we are presenting our ideas and our findings. So confidence is important. Because if you are not confident enough, then it will create all the about our finding and ideas. It will result into all the other previous problem, lack of clarity, lack of coherence. So that will be due to the lack of confidence in our understanding of the subject that we are dealing with. And so then citations. So well, this is another most important aspect. Then the last C that I have to mention, that all the citations which we have used should be properly acknowledged, because that is also one of the ethical practices. Another important use, like citations make the readers it is easier for the readers to track and confirm our claims, and that basically validate our work more, and also emphasize the importance of our work. So citations are very important, and as I said, for ethical, like plagiarism issues, it is also important, and to maintain the trustworthiness of our work. So these are the 7 C's related to academic and research writing that should be kept in mind when we try to use the AI tools for research writing. If these concepts are clear, then we can very easily make use of AI, because ultimately we have to keep in mind we are using the AI tools, and it is our assistant, and I mean, we have to give it clear instruction. So why we want to use AI? So how can it help? These are the 2 questions that we'll be looking at in the next few minutes. So why AI in academics and research writing? That is, it is because it addresses all the pain points. I mean, the points which are very difficult for the researchers. The most problems that arises for researchers are at the writing stage. We can collect the data, we can analyze, but the problem starts when we start writing. So this is the place where we face the most difficulties in the writing part, due to several reasons. One of them is the language barrier also. So this is just a sketch to give an idea like what kind of troubles we might have when we sit down to write a research paper or an academic article. So you have to thorough with what you want to write. So this AI will help us in all this task, and it helps in overcoming various challenges. So what are the different challenges? First is the increasing volume of research. So now all of us know that number of research papers published every year, it is increasing exponentially. And for any researcher, it is technically impossible to keep abreast with all the new information. So that is one of the very, big issues in research, because before conducting in research, we need to be well informed about the existing knowledge and what is the research gap that we need to identify. So for that reason, we need to go through all the relevant literature, existing literature on the topic. So for that task, AI can be immensely helpful. And another is the time constraint and efficiency once again. So that is we are not only doing the research simultaneously, we are also engaged in many other tasks. And publishing a research papers also needs a time limit, because many times there is a lot of competitiveness in the work. Otherwise, the work done by a group, similar work done by another group can be published, and will that would be causing, or that will be making your work irrelevant because somebody else has published. So the timeliness is also important. So once the research is complete, it has to be published as fast as possible. So time constraint, and as I said, efficiency also, because writing a research paper it takes a lot of time. So AI tools helps us in speeding up all these processes. Uh, so grammar checker, citation manager, formatting tools, these are some of the tools which is just for the manual work format, because that does not need much creative efforts by us, because that can be dealt with by the AI tools very easily. Our focus would be more on the creative aspect. So that is one of that is improving language and readability. So and that is where whenever we have to write in English, then non-native English for English speaker, this is the biggest challenge, and AI tool can help us very immensely there. Unfortunately, from the point of view India, there are not many good translator AI tools. There are AI tools which can translate very well. Of course, Google Translate is there, but all of you will agree that it is not up to the mark. So once again, that is a point where still a lot of work needs to be done. So one of them is improving language and readability, and just a couple of AI tools which are being useful: Grammarly, Writeful, Pro Writing. Most of them are proprietary tools. I mean, you need to pay for that. None of them are free. Even if they are free, it is for limited use only. Enhancing and quality and precision, that is another aspect that is challenging. So that is another aspect that has to be considered when we use the AI tools. So AI tools helps. This is the another place where AI tools helps us very significantly in refining the sentences, maintaining consistent terminology, and keeping the readability of the overall readability article consistent. It also helps in maintaining the logical structure and clarity of the article. And another important is error and plagiarism detection. So plagiarism detection is the most important aspect we should keep in mind. In fact, it is a mandatory requirement in research, especially when you do a PhD. For the PhD thesis, for the research article, plagiarism is checked by the journals. So this is also done through AI, and almost all are paid tools or software, Turnitin and other. So now the sixth is simplifying complex data and visualization. So in data visualization and simplifying the complex data, while you do the analysis of the result, I mean in quantitative research, there also AI tools help in presenting the data in a visually appealing way, because this is the most critical aspect. the visual representation of the data is more effective than writing in the word. So there also AI tools are making a significant contribution. In our science field, it is the most important, where we have to think different ways to present our data in the form of graphs, charts, figures, diagrams. So there AI tools helps a lot. And the final one, that is maintaining competitiveness. I mean, you have to stick to the journal standards when you want to communicate your article. So nowadays the journals have increasing their standards very high as far as language, formatting, and the contributors are concerned. I mean, if your draft paper is not in the proper form in these three aspects, it will be immediately returned to you. So the competitiveness increasing the demand for the use of AI tool. So these are the some aspects which gives us an idea why use of AI is important in academic and research writing. So now the stages of writing a research article, that is pre-writing. Before we actually start writing, once again, let me just remind you once again why we are covering it here, though it seems to be a little bit pedagogical here, because we need to keep in mind what we want from the AI tools. So we have to be clear with the concept of writing, and that's why I'm just putting it here in this presentation. So pre-writing, that means even if we have our results with us, then also we have to be very clear what we want to present in that article or paper. That so it needs a lot of brainstorming and information gathering about the published work related to that topic. You have to keep the idea mapped. Then, so for that you do this kind of exercises, pre-writing exercising, like outlining the article, free writing. That means putting on your thoughts, ideas, or presenting your results or ideas randomly. So free writing, and then you can later on work on that. So basically, this pre-writing stage is the longest stage, where you put everything that is in your mind on the paper in some way or other. Then comes the second and third stage, which basically is another stage where you can shift between draft and revise cycle several times. It's a cycle of writing, then getting the feedback from your peers or others, maybe including AI tools. So you get the feedback and you rewrite, you clarify the ideas, and you also get support from the data. If you require additional data, you gather that data, you adjust the flow and structure of the article. So this is basically the stage where the main writing happens. And that's why you frequently go back and forth from draft, revise. Then comes finally the edit stage, where you just focus on correction and proofreading, grammar and spelling. And finally the publishing stage, where just formatting, review and finishing is the prime consideration. So the first basically two stages are very crucial for writing. So now that we will say AI in early stage of research writing. So pre-writing is the longest stage. So what do we accomplish during the pre-writing stage? That is, I would not go through the details of that, because now I will be quickly going to the use of the AI tools. So the thing is that this is the most important stage, and we want to put everything that is in our head here. So brainstorming and everything is very important here. So you try to put your knowledge on the subject and try to make it consistent with the pre-existing knowledge. So for that you create mind maps or concept map, You write your thoughts freely on paper and keep it on the record so that you can go back and forth between the ideas to come to the theme of that your research paper or article that you want to write. So these are the things that you want to accomplish in the pre-writing stage, and you can generate the concept map. So this is how your use idea mapping and outlining for a research article. So now I'll need to have a little bit explanation here. What was the idea that I kept in mind while thinking about this demonstration? So there are large many tools available, and those are nowadays multi-functional tools, right? As I discussed earlier, the different categories of tools, but many of those AI tools are multifunctional tools, and every tool has got their pros and cons. So my focus here is to demonstrate how we can use the tools. I am not comparing any of the tools, but how can we use the available AI tools, and most of them which I will be using, they are maybe they are in the trial version, or because as you go on using that, then you will find that everywhere you will not find any kind of tool without pricing. There are some open source free softwares or tools that we can use. So here I will take an example, and as I said, to make it more general, even though I am a person of physics, I took up one topic that I can also understand, or anybody from any subject can understand. So I just took up one particular topic related to Indian economy, and I just used Chat GPT. I mean, in Chat GPT also you will get something called Scholar GPT. So I just wanted to write a top something, I mean, related to Indian economy. It was in my mind, how should I demonstrate to the audience that how can we use, because it is quite a general talk. So I just took up randomly one topic that can be understandable by the audience in general. So I just put a query here. So if you can note here, I basically put a wrong word here, macroscopic instead of macroeconomic. I'm a physics person, so for me macroeconomic word doesn't fit in mind so easily. Macroscopic is quite general word for me, but anyway, AI automatically detected that mistake, and it just ignored, and it understood what I meant. So I just put a query here that pre-writing brainstorming for a research article on macroscopic indicators for Indian economy. I have that live chat also with me. I'll be showing that to you, but just to demonstrate it here very clearly, to just keep your attention here, I am not showing it right away. So this has generated this response like this. So it has given some question related to the topic, that what are the macroscopic indicators. In fact, it should be macroeconomic indicators. Why focus on the Indian economy? Then how are these factors significant in understanding economic trends? So idea here is that I want to write an article, maybe a review article or a journal article, which right now I am not having a significant data with me, but I can write using the AI tools. So immediately it posed one question, like what is the objective of analyzing these indicators in the context of India's current economic scenario? So this is what is suggested by, because in using the AI tools, what you ask is very important, because based on that you are going to get the response from the AI tool. So then this is the output, which basically then it also enlisted the key macroeconomic indicators that include GDP, inflation rate, unemployment rate, that all of us know that basically are related to the health of any economy. So in general, it is about any economy. At present, there is no context here for India, especially. So, of course, in GDP, it writes about growth trends in India. So, this gives you the broad outline of the topic. What are the aspects you can look for when you sit down to write the article? Exchange rate, trade balance, government fiscal deficit. These were the macroeconomic factors that can affect. That shows the health of the economy. So once again, there is an example question that is asked by the Scholar GPT. We can ask ourselves also, but this is what it is recommended. Like, which of this indicator has been the most volatile in recent years? Because what do we want to explore further? So it is suggesting us another question. So third aspect, now it has moved from general to contextualizing on the Indian economy, because our query was mainly related to Indian economy. So it has generated some points related to historical perspective, then what are the current economic environment, where even the impact of COVID-19 pandemic has also been considered, then global recession concerns are also been concerned, and what are the future economic projections. So these are some of the points which have been enlisted by the AI. Then the challenges and opportunity in measuring the indicators, that also has been enlisted. So this is everything is generated by AI. This gives you a very quick idea. If you put in the query properly, the AI can be a very good friend of us in writing process. Especially at the initial stage, where a lot of things are not clear to us as a researcher. When you want to pick, we may be a good researcher, but we may not be a good writer, right? So that is the most important thing that you have to keep in mind. So initial stage, it is this brainstorming and clearing the ideas. It is very important, outlining the articles as well. So at this point, it is very useful. So this is their challenging. Then Indian economy has the comparative analysis are also the points which has been suggested that can be used. So we are comparing the Indian economy with different categories, including the emerging economies as well as developed economies, and some policy implications also here, which can affect the economy: monetary policy, fiscal policy, trade and foreign policy. So these are some of the outlining idea. The scenarios which are being presented by the AI. So the next question that it has asked is, what are the next steps for policy makers to sustain India's macroeconomic stability? So out of all these things, pre-brainstorming, it has given us this 7 main macroeconomic indicators. Then it also given us some relevant question for further exploration, that are we just covered, right? So this kind of brainstorming gives us a solid foundation to start drafting our research article, right? So this is the brainstorming and idea making stage, where your AI tool can help you significantly, right? So this is what basically now I would like to share that what I basically did during that mm, that generation of all these things. So here I have in ChatGPT I have used the Scholar GPT. On the left bar you can see that. So if you anybody of you I have changed the slide to now my live web browser. So I am showing what I have shown in this slide. So this by putting in the query I have got this response, and then further exploration which I have done here after that to move forward. I put that query, which of the key macroeconomic indicator has been the most volatile in recent years, right? From the general outlining, now I'm going to one particular specific questions. And then it has given several ideas here. So I will once again move back to my presentation and come back to you soon. So further exploration, it gives me two different, one conclusion like what it has suggested that inflation, that is including food and fuel inflation and exchange rate, they have been the most volatile in recent years, and they are mainly driven by both domestic policy measures and external shocks. Details have been explained there. I'm just trying to convey something that this AI tool is now helping me to move forward after the brainstorming stage. So now to ensure the claim made by the AI tool that what it suggests that this is what it has been the conclusion out of this, apart from the other details, you need to verify, validate, and for that we need to conduct a literature survey, because ultimately in this no reference is given at present. So we need to verify to literature survey. So now I will talk about the literature review. I know that it has been covered in the earlier lectures. So I will now, coming to that time which I have left, I will quickly go through this very quickly, and I'll just flash to the slide, and then I'll come back to the demonstration part. That why literature review is very important, because of all these 6 factors or reason, to give the credibility to our work. This literature is important, and AI tools are very useful in literature review, because and in fact it has become inevitable for us in the new generation researchers. They may not be aware, but the researchers of our generation understand its significance, because in those days we did not even have the internet basically. So we had to do the literature survey through the physical copies of or hard copies of the journals, and we had to go through the abstract books and all that. So it was a very laborious manual work, but now it can be done very easily, and the AI has made it very easy and very precise also. So that this is the place where AI has contributed, I think, the maximum as far as research and the writing is concerned. So now this might have been covered by the other resource person on in this workshop earlier. So I think most of you know about all this. Am I right? Has it been covered in other resource persons lectures? Can anybody just give me a feed here, like this which I have shown here? has any other has been used? I mean, is the this what we call tools, have it been demonstrated by other resource person on the second day? Anybody? Okay, so no problem. I'll go ahead with this. So now we will be taking up a live demonstration use of AI tools for literature survey. So literature survey, well, I will just glance through this. Literature survey. So literature survey is it can be conducted through the specific tools. This called research rabbit or lit maps, right? And I'll be not going through in detail here, but just for your understanding, what actually it creates is it helps us in. So I have just let's say I would like to take one particular paper for your reference. So let's say I put a DOI here for this one particular article in commerce and management, and try to understand what kind of so I create one collection, let's say demo, and in this I can, this has been created, and now I can add paper. In this I just paste the DOI, and if it is available it will directly add it here, and it suggests the link of that paper with other articles. So to just show it to significant, let's say for example in my field of metallic glass, if you can see that, let's say this one paper, if I look at one paper which I have included here, you can see it goes on showing you the map, and it can show you similar kind of work, then the references in that article, citation of that work, and then other suggested authors. So if to understand the significance of work, this is very important. So now you can see here some kind of map here. We'll not go into detail, but this kind of mapping is very important to very important to gauge the topic, importance of topic. We'll not go into the detail, but in short, you can glance through the abstract, everything here also, and it's a very nice, and this is a free of, I mean, this is a free tool that you can use, and it is also very popular. This lit maps is also a literature survey tool where actually you can see the links between that the references like this also, but here it is more visually appealing way. So that is the lit maps. I assume that it has been covered. Another is very most important is like the semantic scholar, but it is little bit more advanced than the other tools. How, let's say we put in here the title of this here in that semantic scholar. So if I put it here and paste it here and search it, it will show me the several results. Most of you have used Google Scholar, so it is like that, but you know, instead of Google Scholar, this is much more refined, and it gives you a better idea about because there are very important filters here. Like for example, it immediately it will show you the field of study, date range that you want, right? So let me just put it here only, like Indian economy, right? So it will give me a lot of papers. I think it is the tool which is the largest database. So you can see here a list of papers on different topics. Now you can put the filters what you want to focus on. Let's say on economics, right? Then it will automatically apply the filters, so it will narrow down your search. Then maybe if I am interested in business, to narrow it down further. Then you can also put the date range also here. So here it is starting from 1931 to 2024, right? You can also put a filter if you want, you are interested only on those article which has got PDF, I mean digital form available. You can also put the filter if you are looking for a specific author here, then that also you can put. Journal and conferences that you are looking for, that also you can put. So this narrow down your search and help you in finding the appropriate references for your work. So that's how this literature tools literature survey tools can help us in I mean AI tools can help us. So literature review. Then comes the important aspect structure of research articles. So now I think I'm left with last 10-15 minutes. So I'll be hurrying it up. So the writing aspect of scientific research, I mean, there is one quote here. So most important is how to organize the content for the readers or your fellow researchers. So title of that article, it basically, because when you want to write it, this title can also be generated by AI. It can help you to give you proper title. The title specifies the scope of the work, and then introduction, it prepares the readers for the middle sections. Now there can be many middle sections based on the kind of study that you want to represent. Then the middle section represent there, as I said, many subsections. Then the conclusion that summarize the middle section, provide the future perspectives. Then now title, why it is important to give a significant thought for title, because it is said that it is the single most important phrase in your document, and any audience or reader will be basically gauging the scope of the document from the title itself, and based on the title he or she will decide whether I want to read that or not, unless and until it is extremely necessary. So that's why, when you write the title, our focus should not be like attracting more readers, but actually the readers who really want to read that work. So because it is an academic article, academic or research article, it is not a news article where you put a headline but the news is different. It not be like that. So this is what is the challenging thing, like in a very I would not say short, in a very brief, a single phrase you have to put the entire scope of your work. It is quite challenging, and that is where your AI can help in framing a good title, right? So a good title should be such that if you just search through the computer, it will be showing in the list of the probable titles. The moment you start typing in the Google search, you will find several suggestions, right? So that shows the priorities of the work being conducted by the people across the world. Then comes the introduction. I'll not be talking about all the section, just the introduction part. Right, introduction is basically, what would I say? It is one of the very most important section. Uh, so what it does, it prepares the readers for the middle section. What is going to come ahead? So you ask some questions that will have. You try to answer the question that readers might have while they read the introduction. So what exactly is the work? I mean, what are you presenting in the later section? So introduction should that cover that. Then why is that work important? That should also be covered in the introduction. And what is needed to understand the work? That means the approach that is being used for your study, that should also be covered in introduction. How will the work be presented? Normally, we also put our presentation methodology into that introduction. Answer to this all question may not be necessary, but you almost address 3 of this question in your introduction, so that reader knows in the introduction itself what is coming next in the middle sections. So with an adequate prompt, AI tool can generate introduction for the article that includes relevant sources. So to demonstrate further, let's say I just did in the past, like for example, I had done some literature survey for one particular question. I had asked that question, which I discussed with you, that have the inflation and the that query was basically I generated related to volatility of food and fuel inflation and the exchange rate. So it generated this kind of brief summary of the literature, and it gave us different papers. 10 papers has been enlisted here, and the insights of the paper has also been given to us, and it also gave us the link to that paper, so we can go from here on itself. The importance is it gives the insight about each and every paper, so we can use whatever is relevant here, and you can see in this the different section. You can go further, that in these particular papers, what are the conclusion, what are the results. So this will extract it out of you, and you can see it and you can compare it here itself rather than going through the entire papers. So that is there. Now introduction part, which I was coming to. Now I wanted to write an introduction of some topic. So I did it, like for example, for that introduction, I generated a query in this Scholar GPT, and I asked it to write an introduction, right? You can see here, now I'm not showing it on the slide. I write the Scholar GPT to write an introduction of a research article on correlation between inflation and exchange rate in the period 2014 to 2024. So I give a very general kind of topic to it, and asked it to write the introduction. So I gave it the period of 2014 to 24 and the relation between the two macroeconomic indicators, that is inflation and exchange rate. So now I didn't give any other specification, so that GPT has automatically generated some output. I have gone through that. I cannot read it everything here, but it very nicely writes in brief, including the references. It gives us the introduction. So this is just a random kind of thing, but with a specific talent or expertise which we have, we want to write out. We can frame a more, a more thorough and more scholarly introduction which we want to present in the article. You can further refine the queries. You can increase the number of words. You can decrease the number of words. This you can do. So this way, it can help you write so you can go on putting the queries because it is ultimately the assistant. You can go on refining the queries and write the introduction. So this is how it can help us. This is one aspect where it can help. So I have demonstrated how we can write the introduction for a particular topic. At every stage, keep in mind that it is in the background, human intelligence is very important. What are we asking to the AI? That is very significant. So we have to be very clear, or we have to be very thorough. Whatever is being generated or given to us, it has to be carefully checked. So another aspects are, now I'll be coming to the concluding part after this, writing and editing, because these were earlier whatever I covered was very important part. Paraphrasing, rewriting, improving structure and flow, plagiarism detection, grammar, and these are all we know very well, and we have been using it in our editor, including Microsoft Word. There are inbuilt spell checkers, grammar checkers. Grammarly has been existing since many years. So that aspect is already in practice and widely. So we did not cover about that part here. So this I would like to demonstrate the paraphrasing and rewriting of that. So this is what I generated a paragraph here, like that. That is an unclear presentation. So this is a small paragraph about the relation between inflation and fuel prices. So this is something, let's say if somebody is written like this, if you read it, it is very clear that it's difficult to grasp the meaning of what is written. One gets confused. So I asked the AI tool to paraphrase and rewrite it. So it generated a very wonderful and nice paragraph by adding some additional terms and rephrasing everything. So this seems like a scholarly explanation. Of course, this also use kind of a very hi-fi language also here. So you have to once again tone down certain phrases here, certain word here. So it is not that this output which is given by the AI, it is full and final, right? Every step has to be checked. So this is how I will show you how did I do it. So there are several AI tools that you can see. So here I have used the paraphraser, right? So I pasted that here, that paragraph here, and I asked it to paraphrase it, and output is given in the right-hand side box, right? So likewise, you can use it for maintaining the flow and structure of your write-up as you move forward with your writing. So this is what all about writing and editing. As I said, spell checking, grammar, I have not considered here because it is quite well known, and we don't need to do that. Of course, one feature which I have not mentioned it here, but I thought of demonstrating live only. And then finally, I'll be just telling some of the aspect about ethical consideration, and I'll be finishing in just 5 minutes now. So I'll be just sharing certain things. Let's say, for the sake of write-up, I'm putting that same paragraph here and want to insert. So last thing that I have to explain is the citation manager. So there are several citation manager. One of them is Mendeley. You have Zotero, right? There are many other. Then you have PaperPal. These are all reference managers. So this is the text which I have written in the Microsoft Word. And let's say now I have to add the references. So for that, you have this Mendeley, which is free of cost. You have to just register into that. So that I have just, let's say I have used this Mendeley reference manager. I have kept it open to save the time. And let's say I have put two papers here. For that, you can simply drag and drop your PDF documents here. Let's say this is another article. I am putting randomly a couple of documents to demonstrate the purpose of use of this document. So it will be, and then you can see that it is reading all the information that is there in the PDF and fetching all the details here through these articles. So once again, let me just drag and drop one more article. Right. And this, once you have put it here, then you can use it through the Microsoft Word also. So there you have to go to the review and you can see here references, you can see Mendeley, you can install it right in the Microsoft Word. So you will see Mendeley site. It will automatically connect to your reference manager online. And now you can see here, it is showing me all those references. So wherever I want to put, let's say here, I want to put the reference. So I want to put, let's say this one here, right? So I put insert citation. So it has added the citation. Let's say I want to put here another citation. So I have to just select citation here, insert citation, right? So this is there done, and now I can see which citation I have added, right? And now I can close it, right? And it will be showing me a bibliography. Lastly, when you generate the document, it will be showing you in the references. I have not generated here right now. So that's why it is not showing it. Let's say I put it here, bibliography also in this. So let's say I put it here. You can select the style which is recommended by the journal. So then I can put it here. So I can put in the references here. So anyway, I think the time is getting over. So this is how you can put the references. That's what is the advantage of using the reference or citation manager is that it automatically sets the order of that references when you edit it. Otherwise, if you do it manually, many mistakes can occur and wrong attribution to the references can happen. So reference managers must be used, and they are also in practice. They are regularly used since several years. In fact, before the advent of ChatGPT, so they are not new. So that's there. Now I'll just finish with the ethical consideration. So ethical and consideration and limitations. So authorship and attribution. You can see that the content can be generated. In fact, in one of the paper related to finance, there was a comparative study for a research document generated completely using generative AI, ChatGPT version 3, and it was compared to the article which was generated using private data. So in the first case, using the public data. Second case, it was using the private data. And third was a expert kind of, where you actually do the research by collecting the data, analyzing the data, and writing it. So all the three versions of the manuscript were given to the reviewers without telling them whether it is AI generated or not. But that study interestingly found that in this case, AI generates a very, very closely matching manuscript with those generated by human being. So at that time, the question also, should we give the credit to AI for as an author? But no, in practice, it is not done, because you can see that any AI tool does not take any responsibility for the content that is generated. Ultimately, the responsibility is of the human author. So there is no accountability, and that's why no journals or any institution accept them as an author. And of course, you have to put the disclaimer. Plagiarism is also, once again, this is a very most important ethical aspect, because it has to be checked. Even if you have used, then it has to be paraphrased, then it has to be made plagiarism free. Otherwise, it is basically unethical. So you have to check. Then your AI tools can be biased, because ultimately they are being trained to produce some data based on some data sets. So if your data sets are biased, then output will also be biased. So it has to be used very carefully. As I said repeatedly, the author has to be very careful at each and every step while using the AI generated output in writing. So data privacy and confidentiality is another issue. Transparency in AI use is also ethical consideration that has to be kept in mind, that we have to disclose that AI has been used for that, because in that case, reviewers will be well informed that for what purpose it is used. So nowadays in the research articles, you find a separate section of disclosure of AI tools. And once again, the intellectual property is also an ethical consideration while using the AI generated content in your research articles, right? So what is important here is because most of these AI tools are paid, they are charging us, but in the terms and condition, they may be writing certain things like we are using the AI generated output. So what, does it belong to us or it belongs to the AI? Does the AI tool has any claim into that? That has to be clarified. Otherwise, whatever intellectual property that is coming out of that paper, there can be legal repercussions. So it has to be very clear. If you are, even if it is authorized, then also one has to be very clear about the use. And this is something which is, when we over rely, once we start using, then you know that you stop thinking critically, right? So one should not have over reliance, because then scholarly rigor is reduced. So AI should be seen as a tool to enhance writing, not to replace the essential intellectual labor of the researcher. So our creative work has to continue. So they are just the tools are just helping hand to us in some manual job or some explorative job, but not in the creative job. So that's what it is. And I will stop now here with just some of the limitations that most of you will agree that it is ultimately the AI. So, and it is based on the training given to the AI models. So they cannot think in the multifaceted way that humans can think, because ultimately for expressing certain things, the context is very important, and for that you need very deep understanding, which basically all the AI models lacks here. Then the novel insight cannot be gained by AI. That is possible only with a general intelligence is there in the AI models, but it is still far away. As I said, contextual limitations are there with the AI. Quality and accuracy is also important because we need to be very careful to check the output. And AI cannot even think critically, and argumentation also, because it's not as human as it is thought. So, and its ethical judgment is also, it is just using the content which is there on online, and it may not know whether it should be used or not. So we have to tell that. And before I just conclude that, I would just like to flash some of the other AI tools, so that, for example, this is Ask PDF. So I have uploaded one paper here, and that paper, this tool can give you some summary of that. You can ask several questions based on the content in the paper. It will summarize for you. This same thing which this size space, there also I have done the same thing, and now it can yeah, here it is. So it is reading that paper, and we can ask some questions based on that. So what is there in the paper? What are the conclusion? What is the result of the paper? So this is what basically is right. There are other tools which we can use, like consensus. We can use to confirm our claim. So if you ask, is the correlation between inflation and exchange rate is positive, or I mean, as we claim, then this will answer. This will show the relevance here based on percentage of agreement with other papers, so we can be sure about whatever claim is. So, well, there are several tools like Elicit is there, which is, once again, it can give you the summary, it can summarize the concept. So a lot of tools are there, and we need a separate, I mean, site is also one of the, like, for example, this site is also basically your reference manager as well as summarizing tool. So when I wrote that question here about the relation between inflation and the exchange rate, it gave me the summary with the references, and then I can go further with the writing. So this way, basically, AI tools. Yeah, one of the very popular Quillbot is also another AI tool. So you can see here, it can check the grammar, it can paraphrase, it can check the plagiarism, it can summarize, it can translate, it can manage the citation. So it's a multifunctional tool. Of course, it is paid. Only limited utilities are available in the free version. So Quillbot is another multifunctional. Size space, I have already said that paraphraser, citation manager, data extraction. These are the different tools. Even you can see in the Ask PDF, you will see other tools. If you can see, there are so many AI tools. Now I'm now stopping here, but just to give you a lot many tools which are available in one particular app, and that you can make use of. So I think with this I will stop, and I will thank all of you for the patient hearing.
What an engaging session. I hope you all took away some valuable insights from that. The floor is now open for a question and answer session. This is your chance to engage directly with our chief guest to gain further insights. Please feel free to ask your questions and share your thoughts.
Yeah, anyway, in fact, so this basically, since, you know, it was more kind of a general, so I avoided a more demonstration, because more demonstration brings specific details to be incorporated. Is there any question or anything that need to be asked, or shall I?
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So, as we conclude today's program, I'd like to thank you all, our esteemed speaker of the day, and participants for your valuable contributions. I hope you're leaving with new skills, new ideas, and knowledge. I now invite Ms. Geeta, Research Scholar, Department of Commerce, Accounting and Finance, to render a vote of thanks.
Respected dignitaries and fellow participants, it gives me immense pleasure to propose a vote of thanks for today's enlightening session on AI enhancement in research writing and editing. So, on behalf of everyone present, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to our esteemed resource person, Dr. Kirit and Lat, from the Department of Physics, Sardar Patel University, Gujarat, for his insightful presentation. So, Dr. Kirit and Lat, expert knowledge on how artificial intelligence can be integrated into research writing and editing has opened new perspective for all of us. So the detailed explanation on the role of AI in enhancing research quality, improving efficiency and refining writing skills has indeed empowered the participants to approach their work in more innovative and productive way. So I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Kirit Black for his tireless efforts in making this program a success. We are fortunate for the opportunity to learn from you and look forward to apply the knowledge and skills. I would also like to thank our head of the department, program coordinators, technical team, and the participants for making this session a success. Once again, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This is Dr. Mary Sudarshini on behalf of the Department of Commerce, Accounting and Finance, SRM Vadapalni, signing off until we see you all in our next session on Monday. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.